Donald Trump had a dinner at Mar-a-Lago, $1 million a seat. But like, dude, he can't run again for election. So that's really interesting that they're still raising money, right? For the Maga Inc., a super PAC. He's going to be raising money forever, dude. He's so crooked. What a fucking degenerate. Dude, see, I don't get it, guys. I just don't get it. This is really hard for me to process. Follow my logic here. With this shitty looking, sweaty, decrepit, lazy, like gnarly, every time he speaks, it's so toxic. He's just so gross. But he sits there and like moves his arms like this, and there's like rooms full of people. There's like millions of people who just cheer that. They look at him and they're like so jazzed by it. But like, I can't look at him and not see anything but just like the grossest, cringiest, laziest, most undeserving human being on the fucking planet. But there are people who look at him and they're just so attracted to this. Like, how? You know what I mean? It's like if you're walking down the street and you see a huge pile of human feces just fucking smeared and chunked all over the sidewalk. Nobody looks at that and is like, wow, that looks so amazing. Like, I want to just revel in it. I want to mimic it. But like, dude, people like look at him like he is a huge pile of human feces. And they look at it and are like cheering and so energized by it. Dude, it's fucked up. It is like, I think, you know how they like to say that there's TDS, right? Like Trump derangement syndrome. I think there's a syndrome that where people like see him and he's a giant piece of shit, but they look at him and he looks like a glittery, shiny treat. Like, I think they have the mental illness. They have a mental illness that makes them look at a shit stain, scuzzy, degenerate, human feces individual, and they think it's like good, right? They have some sort of, I think TDS, the Trump desire syndrome, is the issue. Like, they have a mental illness because there's nothing about this that's attractive. There's nothing about him that is attractive. You know, he's gross. He's sweaty. He's dumpy. He's like, he's rude. He's callous. He's crude. You know, I mean, he's got a tiny bit of like, you know, affable charm. I'll give him that. He's decent at work in the room. He's got that little schmoozing like sort of thing, but he's so like, I don't know. I mean, for me, there's never going to be a 78-year-old man that's going to dance and I'm going to imitate the dance of a 78-year-old man. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Right? For me, I don't get it. But, dude, yeah, no, he is fake and a fucking liar. Absolutely. But, dude, it's so weird. And so seeing like young people, they're like 19-year-old, 20-year-old men that are young dudes, like young college guys that put on a Maga hat and do his dance. And I'm like, dude, how? Like, there's no fucking way, dude. When I was 18, there was no way I was going to be like mimicking the dance of a 78-year-old fucking reality TV star. I don't get it. There is just no fucking way, bro. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand the relationship. A bit of contrarianism with the younger group. I think maybe the fact that he's so reviled, like young men can then wear that hat. But dude, if that's your rebellion, is emulating a 78-year-old like washed up fucking reality TV star, like, dude, that's pretty sad, bro. That is some fatherless behavior. It's like, dude, that hurts my soul that those boys don't have a dad that can counteract that need, you know? Like, oh man, that is rough, dude. That is some of the most fatherless behavior I've ever seen, man. Jesus. I don't get it. See, I find this video to just be really fucking interesting. It's just so, like, intriguing. You know why? Just the setup of it, because he's at the table with Trump. Now, Trump over here is just engaged in running his mouth, which is what Trump always is doing. Trump is like, he just loves the sound of his own voice. So he's just whatever, talking, right? He's over there, not at the table, whatever, jabber-jawing with some dude. But Elon is like, he's sitting at the big table with the powerful guy, but he's sort of just, I don't know. It's like he doesn't really belong there. He's not really a sociable person. Like, if you see him speak publicly, he's not a personable, like, networky, kind of like room charming guy. You guys know the term work in the room? If you're like a musician, okay, and you go to one of these industry parties, you got to work the room, which means you go in there and you don't hide in a corner. You go and you insert yourself into whatever conversation you can. And you try to spend a little bit of time learning the name and a little bit about every person in that room. And if you're good at it, you can kind of effortlessly hear something and insert yourself into a conversation in a way that doesn't feel offensive to the people. And then they sort of like open the door for you to come in and join their conversation. And then you leave before it gets old and you move on. So you leave them sort of wanting more. And if you're good at it, you go through that room and at the end, you've shot the shit with everybody and everybody remembers you. They do. They just sort of remember you. And, you know, it's a skill that some people just have. It's just the people that love to schmooze and interject themselves and meet everybody and get to know everybody's name. But like generally working a room is like, it's really fun. Okay. You go in and you walk out of there having experienced connections, like tiny connections with a whole bunch of different people. And a whole bunch of different moments. And it can be really fun and exhilarating. But so Elon, he doesn't have any of that skill. Okay. He's not a room worker. So he's sitting there like in his own little world. But what I find intriguing about this is the woman, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗪, that's her, isn't it? Yeah, that's 𝗙cie. So he's there with 𝗙cie, who is the mother of several of his kids. And she's like his main girlfriend. But I find this interaction intriguing because she's not like talking to him. He's just in his own little world. And this guy is, I guess, watching over them, making sure nobody approaches them. He's like the protector. But dude, it just seems like kind of lonely. But yeah, dude, there's definitely outlier vibes. Now, I hear a lot of people talk about the ketamine, and I don't know what he all does. And I'll be honest, guys, I've been watching his behavior too. And I'm not really certain that ketamine is just the only thing he does. I think he dabbles in a lot of shit because a lot of times I see his behavior and it doesn't even seem like ketamine. And that's what's really interesting with Elon is a lot of times he looks like somebody who does so many stimulants where you do so much that you get like shut down a little bit. Because the thing about ketamine is there's a like, dude, I don't know, there's like a perp walk you get. Like when you do ketamine, you move your body in a certain way. It like ketamine alters your relationship with gravity. That's the best way I can put it. When you take ketamine, it alters your relationship with gravity. So a lot of times when people have taken ketamine, you can kind of see it in the way they move. Like the way they respond to gravity is different. Dude, it is. It's like the way you respond to gravity is different. They look like like the floor could drop out at any moment. There's a sort of a hesitancy of their movement because it does alter your connection to the space. And I don't see that with him. What I see with him is I see him on the verge of like teeth grinding, that like I think he does some type of stimulant, whether it's pills or Adderall, but like large amounts of it. And he doesn't seem to sleep a lot, but I think he's like a high level stimulant user. I just recognize some of his spaced out and the way he sort of like he gets that jaw, right? He gets that jaw. I don't know. He feels like a stimulant guy. He does. This feels like somebody who has been doing stimmies of some kind for like 2 days and they're just on a jag. I think this life for him, even though he loves the attention, I don't think the life around Donald Trump is very satisfying. I just don't think it is. I think they're really lonely. And I do know that, having spent a lot of time in transactional environments, that they fucking wear on you. They wear on you. They really do. Transactional spaces wear on you because it's like underneath all that shit, you know that nobody really fucking cares about you. And all of these guys, though, they're so craven. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.